Hey everyone, welcome to the 4th episode of Algae Talk. I'm Jonathan Williams, the founder of Algae News, and on this episode we're going to talk a little bit about Solazyme, a San Francisco-based company looking to produce algae using a fermentation process. This past week, Solazyme actually announced that they had successfully tested some of their Solajet biofuel in a U.S. military helicopter. This marks the first time algae-based fuels have been used in a U.S. military aircraft. Now, the test wasn't using 100% algae-based fuel, but actually a mixture of 50% algae fuel with 50% traditional petroleum-based jet fuel. Most tests up until now have used this kind of 50-50 mixture of either 50% biofuel in general with a mixture of camelina and algae and other biofuel sources, and then jet fuel, or just strictly algae and then also whatever the other petroleum-based fuel is. But nevertheless, this marks the first time any military aircraft has used algae in their fuel, and the test was successful. This isn't the first time that Solazyme has actually produced fuel for the military. This past year, they've provided the military with some Solar diesel to test in the U.S. Navy's watercraft. Those tests were also successful, which has led the U.S. Department of Defense to actually have a contract with Solazyme to provide roughly 170,000 gallons of algae-based fuels for the DoD to test in various aircraft and also other military boats and ships, etc. This is great news, and also this recent test with a helicopter comes on the heels of the ASTM International approving commercial flights to use biofuels like algae internationally. This is also great news and shows that algae as well as other biofuels are getting ahead and also gaining ground in the overall industry as well as support in the overall industry. All these press releases that talk about this stuff, as well as news stories, I'll include links to on algaetalk.com, as well as some video that actually shows the U.S. Navy Seahawk helicopter using the algae, 50% algae-based fuel in test flight. All that can be found on Algae Talk once again. And as well as if you'd like to visit Algae News, we have a couple new interviews, one by Cameron Edwards about investing in the algae industry, and also one by Dr. Craig Rose about what role seaweeds will play in the overall algae industry. So be sure to check both of those out at algaenews.com, and I'll also include links to those on algaetalk.com. Once again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to send them in. We'd love to answer them, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. If not, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Algae Talk, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.